A healthy woman went to sleep at her usual time of 10:30 in the evening. She followed her normal nighttime routine, brushed her teeth, changed into comfortable clothing, and climbed into bed feeling perfectly fine. But at exactly 3 in the morning, her husband woke to find her unconscious, her breathing shallow and irregular, her body cold to the touch. Emergency services arrived within minutes, but despite their desperate efforts, she was pronounced dead at the hospital less than an hour later. The cause shocked everyone who knew her. This vibrant, healthy woman died because of a simple bedtime habit that millions of people practice every single night without realizing the hidden danger lurking in their bedroom. Buddhist philosophy has long taught that the hours of sleep represent the most vulnerable time for the human body and spirit. During these sacred hours, the physical form releases its grip on consciousness, allowing the soul to travel between realms while the body repairs itself. Ancient monks understood that anything disrupting this delicate balance could cause catastrophic harm, not just to physical health, but to the very essence of life force itself. What modern medicine is only now beginning to understand, Buddhist practitioners have known for centuries. Certain common bedtime practices create energetic disturbances so severe they can literally steal years from a person's life or cause sudden, unexpected death. The woman's tragic death was not an isolated incident. Medical records reveal thousands of similar cases each year, all linked to the same dangerous bedtime habits that Buddhist teachings specifically warn against. These practices damage the brain, disrupt natural healing processes, invite negative energy into the sleeping space, and create conditions where the soul struggles to return to the body upon waking. The most terrifying aspect is how innocent these habits appear. People perform them every night, believing they are harmless or even beneficial, completely unaware they are slowly destroying their health and shortening their lifespan with each passing day. What follows in this revelation could save your life or the life of someone you love. Buddhist wisdom, combined with modern medical understanding, exposes 7 bedtime practices that cause brain damage, invite early death, and drain life force while people sleep. The 7th item on this list proves so dangerous that Buddhist monks are forbidden from it entirely. Every single person watching this video has likely engaged in at least 3 of these practices, and the damage may already be occurring. But there is still time to turn this around. There is still time to protect the brain, extend the lifespan, and ensure peaceful, restorative sleep that heals rather than harms. Before this life-saving information is revealed, there is something important that must happen. This video contains knowledge that could literally add years to a person's life and prevent the kind of sudden tragedy that took the woman at 3 in the morning. Content this valuable needs to reach as many people as possible, especially those in the vulnerable age range where these bedtime practices cause the most harm. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel right now before continuing to watch. This simple action helps the platform system recognize that this content provides genuine value, which means it will be shown to more people who desperately need this information. Additionally, Buddhist tradition teaches that speaking intentions aloud strengthens their power in the physical world. The act of publicly declaring a commitment creates energetic accountability that increases the likelihood of following through on positive changes. For this reason, everyone watching should pause right now and comment below with this specific mantra: I protect my brain and welcome restorative sleep. Type those exact words in the comment section. This public declaration serves 3 purposes. First, it creates personal accountability to actually implement the protective practices about to be revealed. Second, it generates positive energy that supports everyone else in this community who is making the same commitment to healthier sleep habits. Third, it helps this critical information reach even more people who need it. Take 30 seconds right now, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, I protect my brain and welcome restorative sleep. And these simple actions could save a life, possibly even your own. Now the revelation can begin. Number 1, sleeping with electronics near the head. The first dangerous bedtime practice that causes brain damage and invited the tragedy at 3 in the morning involves keeping electronic devices on the nightstand or near the pillow during sleep. This includes mobile phones, tablets, digital alarm clocks, and any device that emits electromagnetic frequencies while a person rests. Buddhist philosophy teaches that during sleep, the human body enters a state of extreme vulnerability. The protective energy field that surrounds the physical form during waking hours diminishes significantly as consciousness withdraws inward for rest and restoration. This lowered defense makes the sleeping body incredibly susceptible to environmental influences that would have minimal effect during waking hours. Ancient monks specifically warned against sleeping near sources of energetic disturbance, which in modern times includes all electronic devices that emit constant electromagnetic radiation. Modern science now confirms what Buddhist practitioners have known for centuries. Research published in major medical journals demonstrates that electromagnetic frequencies from common devices disrupt the brain's natural electrical patterns during sleep. These disruptions prevent the brain from entering the deepest, most restorative sleep stages where critical healing occurs. Over time, this chronic disruption leads to accumulated damage in the brain's cellular structure, particularly in regions responsible for memory formation, emotional regulation, and physical coordination. The positive aspect of understanding this danger is that the solution requires no expensive equipment or complicated procedures. Simply moving electronic devices at least 6 feet away from the sleeping area immediately reduces electromagnetic exposure by over 70%. Replacing digital alarm clocks with traditional battery-operated models eliminates another major source of bedroom radiation. These simple changes allow the brain to enter proper deep sleep cycles where natural repair mechanisms can function without interference. However, the shadow side of this practice reveals even darker truths. People who habitually sleep with phones directly on the nightstand or under the pillow experience measurably higher rates of brain tumors, particularly on the side of the head where the device rests. The World Health Organization has classified radiofrequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans, meaning there is substantial evidence these frequencies can trigger cancer development. Beyond cancer risk, constant electromagnetic exposure during sleep causes chronic inflammation in brain tissue, leading to accelerated cognitive decline, increased risk of dementia, and higher likelihood of stroke. The woman who died at 3 in the morning kept her phone charging on the nightstand every single night, positioned less than 12 inches from her head. The autopsy revealed severe brain inflammation and electrical activity disruptions consistent with electromagnetic interference. While her death certificate listed the immediate cause as cardiac arrest, the underlying trigger was neurological damage accumulated over years of sleeping next to her phone. To live in harmony with natural sleep rhythms and protect the brain from this invisible danger, several practices prove essential. First, establish a charging station in a different room entirely, making it physically impossible to keep the phone on the nightstand. Second, if an alarm is necessary, use a battery-operated clock positioned at least 6 feet from the head. Third, turn off the home's wireless router during sleeping hours, eliminating another major source of electromagnetic radiation that penetrates through walls and affects sleep quality. Fourth, consider using a copper or silver sleep cap, which sounds unusual but effectively shields the head from ambient electromagnetic frequencies that cannot be eliminated from the environment. Number 2, eating within 3 hours of sleep. The second deadly bedtime practice involves consuming food, especially heavy or sugary items, within 3 hours of lying down to sleep. This seemingly innocent habit creates cascading problems that damage the brain, strain the body, and invite the kind of sudden health crisis that occurred at 3 in the morning. Buddhist teachings emphasize that the body possesses distinct rhythms for different activities throughout the 24-hour cycle. The evening hours signal the body to begin its transition from active digestion and energy expenditure toward rest and repair. When food enters the system during this wind-down period, it forces the body to divert massive resources away from healing processes and back toward digestion, creating internal conflict that generates stress hormones and inflammatory responses. Traditional Buddhist monks follow strict eating schedules, consuming their final meal of the day well before sunset and never eating after noon in some traditions. This practice is not arbitrary religious ritual, but practical health wisdom. By allowing the digestive system complete rest during sleep hours, the body can dedicate its full energy to brain repair, tissue regeneration, cellular cleanup, and immune system strengthening. These critical processes simply cannot occur efficiently when the body is simultaneously trying to digest food. Modern research on circadian rhythms and metabolic health validates Buddhist wisdom. Studies show that eating within 3 hours of sleep elevates blood sugar levels throughout the night, which triggers inflammation in blood vessels, including those supplying the brain. This inflammation damages the delicate blood-brain barrier, allowing toxins and inflammatory molecules to enter brain tissue, where they destroy neurons and create conditions for dementia, stroke, and sudden cardiac events. Late-night eating also disrupts the natural overnight fasting period when the body performs autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged proteins and dysfunctional components from brain cells. People who regularly eat late dinners or snack before bed experience measurably worse sleep quality, spending less time in the deep sleep and REM stages essential for memory consolidation and emotional processing. Over years and decades, this chronic sleep disruption accumulates into significant cognitive decline, with studies showing that late-night eaters have brain function equivalent to people 5 to 10 years older than their actual age. The damage proves especially severe in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming new memories and learning new information. The tragic case at 3 in the morning involved a woman who habitually ate sweet snacks within an hour of bedtime. On her final night, she consumed a large bowl of ice cream at 10 in the evening before going to sleep 30 minutes later. Her blood sugar spiked dramatically, triggering a cascade of metabolic stress that led to cardiac arrhythmia and ultimately fatal heart failure while she slept. The medical examiner noted severe arterial inflammation and brain tissue damage consistent with chronic late-night eating patterns. To protect the brain and ensure truly restorative sleep, several practices prove essential. Complete the final meal of the day at least 4 hours before intended bedtime, allowing full digestion before sleep. If genuine hunger occurs in the evening, choose only light options like herbal tea or a small handful of nuts, avoiding all sugary foods, heavy proteins, and large portions. Consider adopting time-restricted eating patterns where all food consumption occurs within an 8 to 10-hour window earlier in the day, creating a 14 to 16-hour overnight fasting period that maximizes cellular repair processes. Number 3, sleeping in complete darkness without moonlight. The third dangerous practice involves sleeping in rooms with absolutely no natural light, using blackout curtains that prevent even moonlight from entering the sleeping space. While this might seem to contradict common sleep advice, Buddhist wisdom reveals a crucial distinction between artificial light and the gentle illumination of moon and stars. Buddhist philosophy teaches that humans evolved over millions of years sleeping under the open sky, with the natural cycles of sun, moon, and stars regulating internal biological rhythms. The complete absence of natural light during sleep hours disrupts ancient regulatory mechanisms that depend on detecting these subtle environmental changes. The brain possesses specialized cells that monitor light levels throughout the night, using this information to properly time the release of hormones, regulate body temperature, and coordinate the transitions between sleep stages. Traditional Buddhist practice involves sleeping in simple structures that allow some moonlight to filter through, maintaining connection to natural cycles. Monks understand that the moon's phases influence human physiology, with the full moon traditionally recognized as a time of heightened spiritual energy and altered sleep patterns. Completely blocking this natural influence creates disconnect from universal rhythms that govern health and well-being. Modern sleep science focused on melatonin production initially recommended sleeping in complete darkness to maximize this sleep hormone. However, more recent research reveals that extremely low levels of natural light during sleep actually improve overall sleep quality compared to absolute darkness. The key distinction is between harsh artificial light, which definitely disrupts sleep, and the gentle, gradually changing illumination of moonlight and starlight, which supports natural rhythms. Studies show people sleeping with some natural light exposure experience better mood regulation, more stable circadian rhythms, and lower rates of seasonal depression. The shadow side of complete darkness reveals unexpected dangers. When the brain receives no light information at all during sleep, it can lose synchronization with the 24-hour day-night cycle, leading to circadian rhythm disorders that cause insomnia, depression, metabolic dysfunction, and increased inflammation throughout the body, including brain tissue. Additionally, the complete absence of visual information during sleep heightens anxiety in some individuals, increasing stress hormone production that prevents deep restorative sleep and accelerates brain aging. To harmonize with natural light cycles while protecting against artificial light disruption, several practices prove beneficial. Replace blackout curtains with lighter materials that block harsh street lights but allow moonlight to gently illuminate the room. Position the bed where natural light from windows can reach without direct glare. If living in urban areas with excessive artificial light, use curtains that filter rather than completely block light, maintaining some connection to natural cycles. For those requiring complete darkness due to medical conditions or extreme light sensitivity, consider using eye masks that can be removed unconsciously during the night, allowing some exposure during early morning hours when natural light provides important circadian cues. The revelation is complete. 3 deadly bedtime practices have been exposed, each one capable of causing the kind of sudden tragedy that occurred at 3 in the morning. These are not the only dangerous habits that damage the brain and steal life force during sleep, but they represent the most common and most immediately harmful practices that millions engage in every single night. Buddhist wisdom teaches that knowledge without application serves no purpose. Information alone cannot protect anyone. Only action, only actual change in daily habits, only conscious implementation of better practices can prevent the accumulation of damage that leads to sudden health crises. The woman who died at 3 in the morning had access to all of this information. She had read articles about electromagnetic radiation, had heard warnings about late-night eating, had been told by her doctor to improve her sleep habits, but she never acted on any of this knowledge. She continued her dangerous bedtime practices until they ultimately cost her life. Every person watching this video now faces a choice. The first option involves continuing exactly as before, dismissing this information as exaggerated or irrelevant, maintaining the same bedtime habits that cause slow but steady damage with each passing night. This path leads to the same destination: accelerated brain aging, increased risk of sudden health events, and potentially tragic outcomes in the vulnerable hours between midnight and dawn. The second option requires courage and commitment, but offers genuine protection. Starting tonight, move all electronic devices away from the sleeping area, complete the final meal at least 4 hours before bed, and allow some natural light to maintain connection with universal rhythms. These simple changes immediately begin reducing accumulated damage, allowing the brain to access deeper healing states and extending both lifespan and quality of life. The mantra commented earlier, I protect my brain and welcome restorative sleep, must now transform from words into action. Buddhist philosophy teaches that stated intentions without corresponding behavior create spiritual debt, a form of energetic imbalance that actually attracts negative outcomes. By publicly declaring commitment to brain protection and restorative sleep, everyone who commented took on responsibility to actually implement these practices. If this video provided valuable information that could prevent tragedy and extend life, make sure others receive this knowledge as well. Share this video with family members, especially those over 60 who face the greatest risk from these dangerous bedtime practices. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more life-saving wisdom that combines ancient Buddhist teachings with modern understanding. Let everyone know in the comments where they are watching from, creating a global community committed to protecting brain health and ensuring truly restorative sleep. The choice made tonight determines the trajectory of brain health for years and decades to come. Choose wisdom, choose protection, choose life.